Chris and Brian here from Resolve Technology. And today, Chris thought he'd talk about passkeys. So, what are these things, passkeys? Like yet another innovation. We're used to MFA, passwords, texting, all these second factors. What's passkeys all about, Chris?
What you got up on the screen is what looks like a QR code, right? Essentially, with a passkey, I have it tied to my phone, just like an authenticator app. I believe it's tied to like the iCloud per Apple passkey. What it does is I sign in on the computer, I choose have passkey, I scan the QR code, and then it does biometrics or facial recognition, in my case, Face ID, and it approves the request without a password. It's MFA, I guess if you want to say it in just layman terms. It's like that whole secure phishing resistant sign in without a password. So it's easier, more secure. Think of it like multi-factor in a sense. Like I don't mean that it is multi-factor. I'm saying it's easier than multi-factor, which is already pretty easier. Passwords aren't, most people don't have secure passwords. So having a phishing resistant secure way to sign in is important because you got to use the QR code, you got the biometrics. There's multiple things that are going on before you sign in, even though it's without a password.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, you're going to the page, FIDO.
Yeah.
So FIDO is an industry standard. A lot of people have heard about YubiKeys, and they may have them at work. It's basically a hardware token. But from what I gather, these passkeys are using the same protocols and the same standard as the hardware tokens, same amount of security, but just doing it through software. Does that sound right?
Yeah. The FIDO Alliance has an article on it that we'll include in this video. When a user, it's telling us when a user is asked to sign into an app or website, they approve the sign-in with the same biometrics or PIN that the user has to unlock the phone or device, computer, security key. The app or website will use a mechanism instead of an insecure username and password combination, and it'll be more like that QR code I showed you about. This is just an example on an iPhone of something, a demo of a passkey. But yeah, they have Microsoft. You can do this with Microsoft Authenticator as well. There is some things in, for those that are more technical, it needs to be configured. Like where you'd go to Entra ID, configure multi-factor, anything that I think it shows up as FIDO too, and it would be defined as that type of login.
So talk to your IT admin if they haven't already implemented. You have to talk to your IT administrator about just setting it up on the back end, is what Chris is saying.
Yeah, but you'd set it up like they show you, at least for the end user here. Choose work or school, they go through the setup, sign in, or you do scan QR code. You get allowed, but this needs to be configured on the back end. You can't just go ahead and do this with a work or school account. If it's not configured, it's not going to give you the option or it's not going to work.
The more forward-thinking IT people will have this enabled on the back end.
And I'd like to mention, so this is something else. People, like you asked, why are passkeys more secure? It's important to mention. So passkeys rely on Bluetooth to work securely, unlike the two-factor authentication that uses Wi-Fi. With access to Bluetooth, passkeys are able to get both close physical proximity and also verify that it's actually the user because they got their biometrics on their actual device. And then it shows you how to create a passkey on your iPhone. I had to set this up with a Coinbase, so a crypto exchange. And I remember seeing them like passkey because I just had regular multi-factor tied with a 6-digit. It sends me a code, but apparently it's become a thing on iOS 16 or newer, or Mac OS 16 or newer. You can have an iCloud passwords and keychain and sync it to this phone. So here's the thing. Apple started this trend. Now you have Google Password Manager that automatically syncs your passkeys because Google makes phones too with Android. So I think across the board, these Google and iCloud or browser password managers, things like that are becoming innately more secure, which is good. I'd still recommend a third party. Let's not keep all our eggs in one basket here. Keys, passwords, MFA, all tied to Bitwarden is not a good idea either.
But so there's a slow evolution here where things are becoming easier and more secure. Eventually, yeah, it'd probably totally be away from passwords altogether, right? So this is part of the evolution, and it's good for the end user.
Yeah, just like with Windows Hello. Instead of signing into your account, you got a Windows Hello certified webcam device or laptop. Use that, then it's going to come up on your phone. You got to use it there, scan a QR code, sign in. But you're going to...
I use that on my laptop because my laptop has one of those fingerprint scanners. So that integrates with Windows Hello. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It makes it easy. All right, Chris, we'll end it there. Thanks a lot.